Strap on the boots and scrape up the knuckles.
Oh, what a hit!
He got jacked.
This is the Big Red Rage. Presented by Santan Ford and Gilbert.
Murray's going to score. Touchdown. Slammed to the ground by Buda Baker. Like a torpedo, he came flying into the backfield.
The Rage is brought to you by Santan Ford and Gilbert. Right on the price. Right on the corner of the Santan 202 freeway in Val Vista.
What a grab by Trey McBride. That was spectacular.
And by Arizona Cardinals Podcasts. Visit azcardinals.com/podcast.
The Red Sea is rising up.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Here's Paul Calvisi.
I'm ready. I'm 100% ready. I'm telling you I'm ready.
And Ron Wolfley.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Unleash the fury! All right, Red Sea, let's go. Come off the ball. Who's ready to go here?
All right.
I tell you what, Cardinals already beat one LA at home this season. Now it's time to beat that other LA at home this season because, you know what? We're not playing favorites. Step right up. If you're from SoCal, just come on into town, right? Take your beating, okay? And a game, Wolf, that might be so physical, it might register on that SoCal Richter scale as the Cardinals wear their black, Chargers in blue. Put it together, a black and blue game on Monday Night Football. Who's down for that?
All right, Paulie, I'm down for that right there. No doubt about it.
Wolf, here we go, okay? I know there's already been predictions online what your first question is going to be to our very special guest tonight.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to ask Trey his weight.
No.
I'm not going to do that. Just so you know, I'm not going to ask it, Paul.
Trey McBride, everyone, Cardinals tight end extraordinaire, is our guest here on the Big Red Rage, otherwise known as Trey McPlay, and that's exactly what he did. In Green Bay, he was a Cardinals leading pass catcher, 8 receptions on 8 targets, 96 yards receiving, among the NFL leaders among tight ends. But first and foremost, how are we doing, Trey? How you feeling? How you recovered from that game? And how much are you looking forward to Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We got a big game ahead of us Monday. Obviously, prime time. Super excited. The whole country's going to be watching. Got an extra day this week, but feeling good, feeling rested, and eager to get out on Monday night to go play the Chargers.
Trey, back when I was playing, of course, which is a long time ago, but back when I was playing, Monday Night Football was a big deal. Oh, my goodness, if you were playing on Monday night, man, it was a big deal. I know there's a lot of other primetime games now throughout the week, but is there still a little something for Monday Night Football with the players?
Yeah, I think so. It's obviously the only game that's going to be on Monday night, prime time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. The whole country's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be there. A lot of eyes are going to be on you. So it's time to go, put good film on tape, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Wolf, how many cups of coffee would you typically have before a 1 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah, I want to say 18, Paul.
So what about a Monday night game? How did you pace yourself for a 6 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah, but it was always about when did I start. It was still the same, Paul. It was 18, somewhere around there.
Is that going to be tough to wait all day?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you occupy yourself on game day?
I like waking up, getting right to it, playing football, and having that 6 o'clock. I think it's a 6 o'clock kickoff. That's going to be late, but I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to do in all that time. I'm going to have to figure something out, but in the meantime, I'm super excited for that Monday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good opponent coming in.
Man, so. I couldn't stand night games. Oh, I hated night games so bad.
Around.
Just waiting around all day long when you knew what was going to happen. When you knew, I just wanted to get up and go to work. That's what I wanted to do. That's why the early start, the noon game last week, right? That to me is the game that I'd love. Get up, just start going and getting ready for the game 4 hours before immediately. How long does it take you to get ready for a game, Trey? When do you get over there typically? How many hours before the game?
Yeah, I'm usually over there around three-ish hours before the game. Yeah, kind of giving me plenty of time to, stretch, get warmed up, kind of do my whole routine, and then kind of go into the normal routine that everyone has. And so I like to get there super early, make sure I'm ready to go. But, yeah, the night games are waiting around all day. There's no doubt about it. It's horrible.
Do you listen to tunes or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to eat breakfast 4 times and just, I don't know, man. It's gonna be long.
You still enjoy the game. don't you? I mean, when I watch you on the sideline, and people would ask, okay, you know what? When I see you, I see someone who really enjoys a game. It's much more than your profession or your career. I mean, you're closer to being a kid when it comes to football than you are some grizzled veteran, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely love playing. It's so much fun. It's just a game, like you said. It's just going out there playing football. It's a game that I've been playing since I was just a little kid. So just keeping that mentality, playing all the time, having fun with it, and bringing a lot of juice, a lot of energy, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
And I bring that up because I'm guessing – your answer to my next question is you don't feel like you've even unlocked your season yet, do you? Because you're already among the league leaders, among tight ends and catches and receptions, but I just have a feeling deep down you're like, you know what, I'm just getting rolling with this last game, 8 catches for 96.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I'm where I need to be yet. I feel like there's still a lot more that I can do, but I didn't know that, but actually it just feels like there's still more in the tank. There's still a lot more that we haven't done. I haven't been able to unleash exactly what I want to do, so that's coming still, yeah. Okay,
so you know what's coming as well right now. Okay, Paul, you started this. We're going down that road right now. How are you doing at the point of attack, Trey? How are you doing right now at the point of attack?
Yeah, it's been good. I've had a couple good ones. I've had a couple not so good ones. So I'm definitely trying to have more good ones than bad ones. But this week will be good. I'm super excited. We have a good opportunity to run the ball this week against these guys. So
see, I tried to tell Wolf in the offseason, and he didn't buy this. I'm like, you know what? I mean, look at Trey's season last year. Okay, you had 66 catches over the final 10 games, right? You shattered the team receptions mark by a tight end. It was 56. You had 81. All right. With Kyler, you led all NFL tight ends in first down catches a year ago. I mean, some really lofty numbers. I mean, you don't have time to block anymore. I mean, you're more.
Oh, knock it off.
Come on, Wolf.
Don't listen to Paul.
Come on, Wolf. He's just part of the passing game.
Talk about the devil on the shoulder over there, Paul. Are you kidding me?
All right. Trey
is going to be a complete tight end, Paul.
Right.
He's going to be a complete stud tight end. Not just a receiving tight end.
Okay, I take that question back. Strike that question from the record.
Thank you, Paul.
Let's hear from Kyler Murray on just unlocking the whole offense and the entire team and getting things going in the right direction. Here's Kyler.
It's a long season. I've been on the end of starting off hot and, finishing not where you want to. But I also understand the mindset and the mentality that we have to have going into each week and going forward. Learn from the last one, focus on the next one, keep getting better, and attack each day, like it's my last. So that's the mentality. I got full faith in the guys and myself and the coaching staff to get us on the right track and get this thing going in the right direction.
All right, what are you sensing in terms of rebounding from that Green Bay loss? What have you sensed? How has the team responded?
Yeah, I think guys are, obviously angry, not the, performance that we wanted to have, but I think guys are eager to kind of fight back, get another win, and obviously a great opportunity, primetime, Monday night. Like you said, everyone's going to be watching, so what a great opportunity to get right back on track and beat the Chargers this week.
So, Trey, where do you think the offense can evolve the most right now? Where do you think you guys can grow?
Yeah, I think for us it's just being more efficient, making sure that everyone's doing the right job and executing at a high level. There's a lot of good times where we're looking explosive, we're doing a lot of really good things, and then there's times where it's not so good. So just making sure that we have a lot of more consistency, more, everyone's doing the right thing, doing their job and making sure that we can go out there and make plays for them.
We host JG's TV show, right? And I think he used the words non-negotiable a few times based on the 13 flags, especially the pre-snap penalties. How correctable is that?
Yeah, that's stuff that's super fixable, stuff that I think is uncharacteristic of what we are, and obviously it's things that we have to get fixed for this week. So I'm super excited for this opportunity to go out there and prove the team who we really are. So I'm excited for a Monday night game.
So last year you became a starter in Week 8, right? And it took maybe a couple of weeks, 3 weeks for the NFL to realize, oh, wait a minute, this guy won the Mackey Award as the best college tight end for a reason, and he's put up some stupid numbers. And then you've probably seen different defensive approaches ever since, have you not? How do the defenses attack you and cover you these days?
Yeah, it's a lot different than when I first started. Obviously, it's safeties, linebackers, different guys every week. You never know who's going to cover you, but it's just kind of a lot of fun for me to just kind of watch the guy who's covering me, try to figure out how I can beat the guy, and then go out there on Sunday and do my best to go out there and put the best route on tape.
Because, Wolf, here's Drew Petzing earlier this week, right, just when he was asked how defenses are game planning for Trey McBride.
They know he's a dynamic playmaker. He's a mismatch problem. I mean, you saw the contested catch ability, his ability to run with the ball in his hands. So I think just changing the coverage and who's defending him, how he's getting off the line of scrimmage, different things like that. But was really excited to see the way he produced in that Green Bay game and gave us a chance to get back in that game.
If you get a catch in space, right, with a little bit of head of steam, and you have, I mean, how confident are you can make that first guy miss?
Yeah, that's always my goal, is to always, never get tackled by one guy. I always make, 2-3 guys tackle you. So I feel very confident in that and my ability to make people miss, to get yards after the catch. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get the ball in space and make something happen.
That is one of the things I absolutely love about your game, Trey. You are really, really good yards after the catch. You get the ball, and you seem to get even more dangerous to me with the ball in your hands. I love that about you and appreciate that about you. What do you think the Los Angeles Chargers are going to do right now? What coverages do they like? How do you think they're going to deal with you?
I'm not entirely sure. They got a really good up front, so they got a good edge rushers. But Derwin James is obviously a really good player. They got good linebackers. They got a really good defense. So I'm not entirely sure who's going to cover me, which guy's going to be on me. But I'm studying them all and trying to figure out which one's going to do it and try to win against them all.
You know, it's crazy, and look, no one's feeling sorry for the Chargers considering how many injuries the Cardinals have had, okay? We'll be here all night listening to all those. But they're down right now, their top 4 corners. They ended last week's game playing 2 fifth-round rookies as their corners, and those 2 guys are tracking to start again on Monday night. So, Wolf, you know how it works in the NFL, right? You're going to test those guys, are you?
Oh, you're going to test those guys, Paulie, no doubt about it. And hopefully the one thing that can actually help those guys would be a pass rush. And they have a pass rush. The problem is they got some guys that are nicked up as well, including Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Pretty good football player.
Yeah. Although I'm sure you guys are preparing as if he's going to play. How would you assess a Joey Bosa? Because you've seen your share of premier pass rushers. Yeah. What's that like when you're going against like the Aiden Hutchinsons of the world?
Yeah, they're all very different, but they're so strong, so athletic. They're guys that just make plays happen. So you got to definitely account for these guys, make sure that they can not affect the game as you want. But Khalil Mack's also over there. I mean, they got a lot of really good players. So we got to definitely account for them. But obviously, I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to make plays.
It's one of the things I just want to see. I'm really, really excited to see it again. The Cardinals coming out, I know that they're banged up on the offensive line. I don't know exactly who is going to play and who isn't. I don't think anybody knows that right now. But to me, the opportunity, and I was a guy that was a backup fullback. I got the opportunity to play. And many times a backup might be really, really good in terms of run blocking as well. And I think that's going to be key for us. The difference with offensive linemen in today's NFL is the fact that pass protection is so critical, right? You're going to take a guy who's a good pass protector, even over a guy that is a great run blocker. But a backup can be even better run blocker than maybe even the starter, but maybe he's just not as strong with pass protection.
Well, hear what Kyler Murray had to say about Trey McBride. He is our guest. It is the Big Red Rage presented by Santan Ford in Gilbert.
Throws over the middle. McBride made a catch going upstairs to pull it down. Throws left side and a leaping catch made by McBride at the 45 of the Rams. Amazing catch by McBride.
You gotta be kidding me. Trey McBride stabbed it.
Fires deep middle, caught inside the 20, at the 15, at the 10, and wrapped up there. Trey McBride down the right seam made the catch to the 10-yard line, a gain of 27. Boot to the left and a throw to the near side. Open is McBride, caught at the 30, up the near sideline 40.
Trey McBride was wide open.
Fumbles the ball, and it's recovered in the end zone for a touchdown by Trey McBride. It's been that kind of a day. The Cardinals have 40 points now after it bounces their way with McBride getting it into the end zone.
Yeah, that was James Conner, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, loose ball in the end zone. Trey, we heard the play-by-play. Dave Pash and Ron Wolfley there. It is a Big Red Race presented by Santan Ford in Gilbert with Trey McBride. But there's the ball, and then take it from there. Your eyes, I'm guessing, got really big really quick.
Yeah, I was on the backside of that play, and I was just kind of shielding my guy off, making sure he didn't come, and then I just look over to kind of see if James is going to score, and all of a sudden the ball pops out. It lands kind of in my arms, and we get a touchdown. It was just kind of like you said, that kind of day. Everything was just kind of falling our way.
By the way, your touchdown before that was Week 18 of last season, and do you know what happened 3 days before that game? Big Red Rage here at Trophy. Do you remember what you ordered? I think it's the same thing you just ordered moments ago. Do you remember what you ordered?
It was the some kind of burger or something with some
hot and smoky burger with sweet potato waffle fries.
There you go. Perfect.
So at this rate, they might be naming that burger after you.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Trophy. So that's good stuff right there. All right, so look, here we go. And I mentioned, again, your season so far, you have 5 or more receptions in 4 games this year. That is tied with Brock Bowers, the Raiders rookie, for most among tight ends in the league. So in terms of you being a primary target and part of this offense, that's obviously there. Okay, but what has been your mindset going into this year? And where's a couple areas, you know what, you said yourself in the offseason, I want to do better maybe here, and here, maybe check these boxes.
Yeah, I think it was just trying to be a complete tight end like Wolf says, just trying to make sure that I can help in the run game, be a part of the pass game, and just be kind of like a security blanket for Kyler. If he needs to throw the ball to somebody, he can always throw it to me, and try to be reliable, catch all the balls that he throws to me so he just keeps throwing more to me. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do, just try to win, try to, get open for him, and he'll throw me the ball.
Trey, of course, we're using an awful lot of 2 tight ends. We're using 3 tight ends, as a matter of fact. Talk a little bit about your teammates in that tight end room and what you're seeing from these young guys.
Yeah, we have a really good room. Tip's obviously a great player, a good blocker, does a great job in the run game, a very selfless player, and does a great job. Elijah, obviously a very dynamic guy. He can, be in the run game, help with that. He does a lot of stuff on special teams for us, and obviously a very dynamic player with the, in the pass game as well. So we have a great room. Travis also as well. I mean, we got a really good room, so all those guys can play and help a lot with.
Who's the funniest guy in the room, though? I mean, who's you? Is that you?
I don't know. Obviously we got a lot of characters in there. I think Psycho actually, the one of the he's pretty funny, man. We got a lot of good guys, though. It's a great
Psychovitz.
Yeah, Psychovitz. No, it's a great room. We have a lot of fun.
Didn't he get a hard time, or didn't he have to defend himself during the Summer Olympics because you guys were bagging on Austria or something like that?
Our tight ends coach was comparing gold medals from USA and Austria, and it's like, I mean, come on, it's not even.
That's not cool.
Yeah, it's not even close.
That's not cool.
No, it was funny.
Oh my gosh! All right, here's Kyler Murray. Wolf, real quick, on just the status of Trey McBride. Here it is, year 3. And he's already among the league leaders. Where is this tracking? Where can it go? Here's Kyler.
Trey's just got a great feel, obviously being a tight end and having a little leeway to do things his way now, and a lot of confidence. His ability along with the feel that he's gained throughout these years, I think sky's the limit for Trey. I think, he can be one of the best in the league. I love going to work with him every day.
When you talk about having that chemistry with your starting quarterback, what does that come down to? What does that consist of? What does that mean exactly? Because we saw it in the preseason, we saw it in camp, and a lot of times when he's under duress, he finds you.
Yeah, I think for me it's just like I said, trying to get open for him as much as I can. If I get open for him and he keeps throwing me the ball and I continue to catch the ball for him more often than I don't, I think it's just kind of like I said, I want to be that security blanket for him where if he feels like he needs to get the ball, he needs to throw the ball somewhere, he can always kind of find me and I'll be reliable and catch the ball for him. So no, Kyler's great. He does a great job of he has a great feel for what I'm doing. Him and I are kind of getting more on the same page, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what happened in San Francisco? What happened against the 49ers where you actually were fined for blocking out of bounds? Take us through that, would you please?
Yeah, so we had a little screen it was like a little swing screen where I'm blocking the guy, and I get a little tied up. I'm blocking him, and I'm trying to dump him, and I get out of bounds. I really tried to stop blocking him, and at that point he had grabbed my face mask, kind of pulled me around. Was just doing all sorts of stuff. I really was just trying to get out of there, and then as soon as I get out of there, I get hit by another player, and then the whole bench is over there, Gatorade's flying. It was just a bad deal. So, yeah, I got fined for that. I'm a little upset about it, but it is what it is.
Okay, you got fined for that.
Yeah.
From the league, of course.
Yeah, unnecessary roughness is what they say.
Okay, can I ask you? I mean, is it okay if I ask you how much they hit you up for?
I was like close to 11,000. Yeah, 10.5, something like that. Yeah, it was
oh my goodness! It was.
I wasn't proud of that one. Yeah.
Is it still old school where you show up to your locker on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning and there it is, the FedEx?
Yeah, it was just a little orange slip in my locker, and I'm like,
my goodness!
I turned it around and I was just looking I just looked for that number. Where's the number? And then I saw it and I was just devastated.
Trey, now tell me the truth. You were deep into the sideline.
Yeah,
you were on their sideline.
Yeah, 1-2 many steps, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
I know. Was that a little rough over there?
Yeah,
I mean, were guys saying stuff to you?
It was a bad deal. That's why I was trying. I think if it was on my sideline, I don't know if I get fined, but who knows?
Well, you know this, but for those who don't, one of the players who hit you or came after you wasn't even in uniform. It was Dre Greenlaw. So not only did he get fined $14,000, but the 49ers got fined $100,000, 6 figures, because a player out of uniform was involved.
Yeah, that was just a bad deal for everyone. They should just wipe it all and we'll say sorry or something. I don't know.
Trey, did you know that, though? Did you know it was Greenlaw?
I figured out after the game. I didn't realize. I knew I got hit. I didn't know who hit me. I was, like I said, I was just trying to get out of there. And then after the game, they told me Greenlaw was the one who did it, and I was just kind of like, of course.
Well, because you guys had mixed it up in Week 15 last year. I remember that. So, okay. All right. That's, But look, I mean, the way you tell us, but, I mean.
Wait a minute for a minute. Paulie, let me jump in here. You got something with Greenlaw going? No. I mean, do you guys not like each other or what?
I'm not sure what it is. I play hard, and I guess he doesn't. I talk, and we just, you know how it is. We get out there, and it's just kind of, he doesn't like me. I don't really like him, and it's just kind of one of those things.
Okay, so Trey, you're saying you actually talk when you're out there playing? Is that what you're saying?
Every once in a while, I'll chime or chirp.
Okay, what does a guy have to do to get Trey McBride upset with him to a point where Trey McBride is telling him something about something?
I don't know. It's usually it just really depends. It's week to week, but
so anything can set you off. Is that
anything,
what you're saying?
Yeah, I got a small trigger usually on game day. So it's fun.
I got to tell you, I was trying to high five people when you were actually over on the sideline in the 49ers. I was like, oh, there's nobody here. I'll go Dave. David's not going to high five you.
Last question, I'll move on. When you do trash talk, you have to say it before the play or after you make a play?
Usually after you make a play, yeah. Definitely not before the play, yeah. Because you never want it to backfire on you, yeah.
For me, Paulie, can I just jump in here and say it all depends. It all depends what the guy says to you to begin with, right? Never start it. Never do it. Never start it. Never be a cheap shot. Never be the guy that starts the trash talking, okay? But if somebody does it to you, take them out. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing, you grew up with two brothers, right? Wolf, you grew up very close to your brother, played all the way through college with your brother. But I mean, how much of that goes back to your childhood, right? You just being competitive.
Yeah, very competitive and always wanted to, one up my brothers and things like that for sure. Definitely goes back to the roots for sure.
Okay, you went on a USO tour to Poland in April. Is that right? You were DJ Dallas, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was.
Man, what was that like?
That was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Went to Poland and went and saw a bunch of military camps, saw a lot of the troops and hung out with them over there. It was really unique and a cool experience.
Why were you compelled to do that, Trey?
I have my grandfather was in the military and my brother as well was also in the Navy, so it's just kind of near and dear. And then obviously DJ and stuff, so it was just a lot of fun to go out there and be a part of that and see the troops.
Do you think you'll be looking to do that again?
Definitely. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a great experience, and I learned a lot, saw a lot of things, and I thought it was really interesting. So I would definitely be interested in doing that again. I loved it.
So we had DJ Dallas a month ago or so up here, and he told a story about that and the trip. He loved it as well. He said, except when you guys got down to the part where they challenged you to a fitness test against all these military members.
Yeah, that was a bad deal. That was kind of sprung upon us, and I was like, what do you mean fitness test?
Fitness test?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in the off season right now.
We don't need no stinking fitness test.
Yeah, go and doing push-ups and doing army crawl, and I'm like, what in the world? And I'm in the middle of Poland, and then you have to end it in 2-mile run, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't ran 2 miles. I'm a short distance, I do a 6-second play, and it's like. 2-mile run took it out of me, but no, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Great. I mean, those guys are looking forward to that. And then this week, tell us about, you and a bunch of your teammates joined the Pat Tillman Foundation, right? And it was a STEM day at the Tillman Middle School. That must have been really cool to see. I mean, it's like over 600 students out there.
Yeah, there was a ton of things. They had a bunch of different events, a bunch of different people out there, but they were just kind of going from station to station, seeing all kinds of kids. Kids were, watching plays, watching film, asking us questions. It was a lot of fun. Learned a lot, and it was just fun to go to that middle school and kind of spend the day with the kids and do that. So,
on that note right there, Paulie, the Pat Tillman jersey for the Look Team Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that right there. What do you know about that?
Yeah, they do a jersey of the week for the Scout Team Player of the Week. So they have a player each week that gave a good look or did something well in practice, and shows a bunch of plays, and they get to wear that jersey. So they have the 40 on. It's camo. It's a really cool jersey, and they get to wear that for the week. It's kind of an honor of them having a good week of practice and also an honor of Pat Tillman as well.
That is really cool.
It can kind of be foreshadowing, too. Like Xavier Weaver won it a couple of weeks ago, and then, boom, all of a sudden he's active on game day this week. Like, the guys are sort of up and coming, making plays on Scout Team, and then you never know, right?
Playing, exactly. Absolutely.
So, really interesting. I tell you, though, you have some of that same zest and zeal for the game that Pat Tillman himself had. I mean, Wolf and I are old enough to have covered Pat Tillman in a Cardinals uniform, and he was that sort of player who just loved the game.
He challenged himself a lot, Trey, and I see that in yourself too. You challenge yourself as well. You don't accept mediocrity. You want the best. That's one of the reasons why I love you, buddy.
Hey, learn more about Cardinals single game tickets, premium seating, group tickets, the all-new luxury field seating, all those experiences. All you have to do is go to azcardinals.com/tickets. We continue. Trey McBride, the Big Red Rage, live at Trophy and Chandler at Price and Queen Creek.
We are under a minute to go in the third quarter. Line of scrimmage is the 39, 30-14 Chargers. Jacksonville driving. Lawrence in the pocket, looking for the deep shot, and he's got his man, Zay Jones. Separation, touchdown, Jacksonville. A rope for 39 yards, and the Jaguars are in business.
Yeah, no big deal. Just a wild card playoff game where Jacksonville got down 27-0 and then came back to win 31-30 against the LA Chargers. Think about that. That was just 2 years ago. And in that game, Zay Jones had 8 grabs for 74 yards and a touchdown. He knows the LA Chargers real well from his days with the Raiders, and he is in play this week. Looking forward to that. Big Red Rage, Trey McBride, Paul Calvisi, Ron Wolfley, but Zay Jones, what have you seen on the practice field? What did you see in camp? What have you seen this week? And what do you think we can expect?
Obviously a really good player, a guy who's played at a high level, had a great career so far, but he's just kind of another guy who can be another reliable target for Kyler, another guy who can get open, and another guy who we want out there. So he's a great player. Obviously he's played for a while now, and he's someone that I'm excited to add to our offense.
One of the things I love about Zay Jones is he's a pro, Paulie. He really is. This guy's been around. He's not going to be surprised by anything that the Chargers are going to throw at him or throw at this offense. He's a guy that understands what his role is. He's a pro. That's what he is. And you need guys like that. If you're going to beat the LA Chargers, this defense is really, really good. This defense is good. Number 1 in terms of points allowed in the NFL. That's pretty good right there when you're giving up 13.2 points per game, and that's it. That's pretty good. Now, listen, I understand they played some soft competition as well. I understand that. Yet at the same time, when you watch them, they got players. They got good players on the defensive side of the ball, especially if Joey Bosa plays. Look out.
All right, in fact, here's Zay Jones today standing in front of his locker telling us media types what he sees from that Chargers defense.
Pass rush, for sure. I mean, their front line, their D-line are incredible athletes, really talented. They have been banged up, but it looks like they have great depth, especially in the secondary as well. They're talented guys. You can see that. They played at notable schools, great size, good speed. They play aggressive. They play a lot of coverages, so it's very hard to predict what exactly they're going to do. So I think it was going to be a great matchup on prime time to go in there and kind of solidify ourselves. So I'm looking forward to it.
How often in the NFL do you see one look pre-snap and another coverage post-snap?
All the time, yeah. It's very common. You know, it changes all the time. Defenses are disguising things. But like you said, this defense, the Chargers, they do a lot of different things, and it's hard to determine, right off the snap what the heck they're doing.
You know, it's amazing as well. Jim Harbaugh, of course, is the coach for the Chargers, and his brother John was the coach and is the coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, used to be the offensive coordinator for John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens from 2019 to 2022, as a matter of fact. I look at the Chargers right now, I look at their offense, and I see Baltimore Ravens West. That's what it is. Right down to the fullback and the use of the fullback right now. The Chargers line up offensively, and I know you were talking about defense, but I got to talk about this because the physicality of Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, that's on both sides of the ball. They're trying to build exactly what the Cardinals are trying to build as well on the line of scrimmage, and they line up and they will attack you right now. 55% of the time in rundown situation, the Chargers are in two-back, Paul. They're in two-back 55% of the time with a fullback. And Matlock, their fullback, is 6'4", 296 pounds.
Oh, come on.
Just like the Baltimore Ravens.
Ricard.
Patrick Ricard,
Yes.
fullback.
Oh, my
who's a
gosh.
300-pound. He's a defensive lineman that they use as a fullback. That's exactly what Jim Harbaugh is doing west of Baltimore. And that's what John Harbaugh and the Ravens do. It is a physical bunch, and they're going to attack the line of scrimmage. That, to me, is what the entire offense, the entire game is going to be built on.
And 10 years ago, he's doing the same thing when he was head coach of the Niners, except he did with Frank Gore, right? I mean, a lot of the similar, not exact, not a lot of the two-back necessarily.
Not actually
but,
taking a defensive lineman and making him a fullback either.
So here's an interesting stat. Wolf might stand up right now, Trey, and give a standing ovation when I read this. This was put out today that NFL teams this season are rushing the ball at the highest rate through 6 weeks since 2008.
Are you serious?
That it's the most yards rushing per game at this point in a season in the NFL in 40 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
Okay, why do you think that, Trey? Why do you think what Paulie just read right there? Do you have a theory on that?
I don't. I really don't know. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe the way the safeties are. I really can't tell you why.
Okay, can I jump in here?
Yeah, jump in. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you what my theory is right now?
Wolf's going to start taking phone calls in a minute.
I'm just saying right now, honestly, listen, back 4 or 5 years ago, the new age offense was taking over the NFL. Back 4 or 5 years ago, here we go. We're going to spread the field. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to throw the ball. That's what we're going to do. The defensive box became a realm of athletics and athleticism, where suddenly you had athletes inside the box that weren't necessarily football players.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I think the pendulum has swung back, where you're blending the old and the new, and you're going to find out now. You know what? We're going to go ahead and have a 296-pound fullback. We're going to find out if you guys in the box are athletes or football players. And I think that's largely what is happening.
Well, let's see. The Cardinals in the third round this year took a tight end, 6'5", 275 in Tip Ryman, right?
Yep.
So, in fact, Tip's a really interesting guy. I don't need to tell you about that. Here's what he told the media, on what he likes to do away from football. Tip Ryman.
If I've got my pottery wheel with me and do pottery, throw a lot of pots. That was both my sister's wedding gifts was sets of plates and bowls and mugs and all that. So I like to do that stuff. My mom, I say she's better than Bob Ross at painting murals. She's crazy. No woes here. She's amazing. She's a legend.
So when you get big, bad, tough Tip Ryman, 6'5", 275. That was his introductory press conference. We didn't know anything about him really, other than there's this huge dude. And when he starts talking about how he does pottery, I thought he was totally messing with us. I was almost the guy who started laughing. I thought he was messing with us, but no, he's dead serious.
Yeah, no, Tip's awesome. Tip's a great dude. He's one of those guys who on the field, he's mean, he's nasty, he's going to throw people around, and then outside of football, he's the nicest guy in the world. Will do anything for you. He's great. No, Tip's awesome.
I would just like to ask Tip exactly why. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but I'd like to ask him what do you do with those pots once you make it?
Yeah.
Because you don't know, Paul. He might be in the backyard just gunning the pots off of cement or something.
Like the anger room, just take them out and smash them with a bat.
The disappointment room.
Yeah, that's funny.
No, I'll tell you, I'm going to ask him tomorrow. I'm going to say, hey, are you selling those for the holidays? I need some holiday gifts. You know what I mean? I'm going to buy some of those pots.
Get a whole set for your
exactly. For my wife, I'm running out of gift ideas 10 years ago. Are you kidding me? I need something around here. Oh, my goodness. So, all right, look, when you come to – and because we've seen it, 12 and 13 personnel a lot. Cardinals led the league in 13 personnel a year ago. We've seen you guys go against premier pass rushers. Tell us about the art of the chip block. When you have to go against Nick Bosa, Khalil Mack, Aiden Hutchinson, what goes into a chip block? Football 101.
Yeah, it's definitely obviously when you see a chip block, it's never what you want to do because you just want to be out there running the route. You don't want to be chipping and then running the route. But the chip block's hard because those guys obviously know it's coming most of the time, and they don't want to be chipped most of the time. So you gotta chip them and make sure that you chip them into the tackle so he can block them. You can't chip them too hard or else they'll go inside and start a game. So it's kind of like you got to be that perfect chip and not too soft, not too hard, and make sure you can still get out on your route.
Did you hear that, Paulie, right there? I mean, the art that chip blocking really is.
Yeah.
Because you just nailed it. You don't want to hit them too hard where you're going to knock them off the tackle and where the tackle is pass setting.
Or you knock him in there and he starts going in there and then they just start
That's exactly
twisting
right.
around.
Because the fear is he pinballs off you and actually gets momentum.
Exactly, and just kind of loops in there. And
I never would have thought about that. So you just want to knock him off stride, knock him off balance.
Slow him down.
Slow him down.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
It really is. Who's the hardest guy to chip block? I mean,
well, the guys who are aware, obviously like Bosa, those guys who are aware can swipe, move off, and then if you miss, then you just look silly.
Does anyone ever jack you? You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they know you're
chipped,
going to, boom, they just jack into you.
But then sometimes they have no idea it's coming and you hit them and then they go flying too. So you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the chip block was around back when I was playing, but it was rarely used for the most part. The very first time we played the Giants, I chip blocked Lawrence Taylor and jacked him right in the face, Paul. And I started talking trash to him, and Louis Sharp said, "You shut up, you rookie!" He was screaming at me from 15 yards away. "Don't you say a word to him!" Just leave Lawrence alone on the chip block.
Because Louis Sharp, the left tackle, had to go against him for 70 snaps.
Yeah.
Don't make him mad.
You got to be careful on
I gotta see him.
Oh, that's good stuff. Hey, the latest edition of the Dave Pasch podcast, it's available featuring ESPN broadcaster Chris Fowler. He's calling Monday Night Football. That is great stuff. Get it wherever you get your podcast or youtube.com/AZ Cardinals. All right, we continue with Trey McBride, Trey McClay here on the Big Red Race, presented by Santan Ford and Gilbert, live from Trophy and Chandler at Price and Queen Creek.
And I can tell you when you hear the dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, it gets the blood boiling. Yeah, Paul, I played once.
Bull's ready to get in a three-point stance right now, just the thought of it. How about you, Bertrand? What do you think of?
It made me think of Dandy Don Meredith. Turn off the lights, the party's over.
Wow, that is a flashback.
Oh,
Throwback
my goodness,
to 2009. Going to the cold tub time machine. Bertrand Berry was the player host of the Big Red Rage.
What up, B-Train?
And that was going into a Monday night game circa 2009. How about that? And, that was the last year of Kurt Warner, Trey. And so it was really cool. And, of course, Larry Fitzgerald. And then an epic playoff win against Green Bay. And, that was a crazy season. And here we are again, 2024. Trey McBride is our guest on the Big Red Rage, presented by Santan Ford and Gilbert. How much do you appreciate the history and legacy of the game? Like when you go to Lambeau and you go through that tunnel, right? And that's sort of that concrete cinder block tunnel that sort of snakes its way. The bones of old Lambeau are still there. They modernized a lot of it, but still the bones are still there.
Yeah.
I mean, do you soak some of that in when you go on these road trips?
Yeah, obviously that's a very historic place to play, a very cool stadium, and once I saw that on the schedule, that was one I was highlighting. That was a really cool place, somewhere I've wanted to play for a very long time, and just to have that opportunity to go out there and do that. Kind of got a little bit of the weather with the rain, it was a very cool game, very historic. Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but it was a very cool atmosphere.
Paulie, on that note right there, too, what was so odd, I played for the St. Louis Cardinals, of course, for 7 years, and then I finished up with the Rams. I did not get a chance to play in Lambeau Field until my 10th year in the league. The last year in the league that I played, I was playing for the then St. Louis Rams, if you can imagine that. And just because of scheduling, it was the first time that I had ever gotten a chance to play in Lambeau Field. Pretty incredible, right? 10 years?
That is crazy.
Especially when you played 7 or 8 in the NFC.
Right.
And I never got a chance to play in Lambeau. Isn't that odd?
That's tough.
How about in college? Was there somewhere didn't you have your first touchdown catch at the Swamp?
Yeah.
Did I see that?
Yeah, first touchdown catch was in the Florida Gators. Yeah, that was a freshman year. That was a crazy deal. A game I wasn't even supposed to play in, and got thrown in there and caught like a 50-yard touchdown. That was a crazy deal.
Were you a true freshman?
True freshman. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was like the third, fourth game of the year, and one of the tight ends went down for a play. He had tweaked up his knee, so I went in there for one play. They called this play. I caught a touchdown, and the rest is history.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was freaking out. Yeah, I was so I wasn't nervous, but it was just kind of a cool, experience for me to go and play in that stadium and score my first touchdown in my career.
Because, give us a quick recap. For those who don't know, you grew up in Fort Morgan.
Yeah, Fort Morgan, Colorado. Yeah, small little farm town, and then went to Colorado State, played with my brother there, and then never really played in huge games like that where I was from. So that was the biggest game of my career up to that point, and scored a touchdown. So it was really cool.
Because, I'm guessing you're a true freshman. You're in SEC country.
Yeah.
You're in that stadium.
Yeah, we're driving in. Everyone's giving us the Gator chomp, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. This is not where this is not Colorado anymore, man.
That is. Well, look, Monday Night Football, I still remember we had oh, my goodness. Who was a player who went to Delaware State? Rodney Gunter.
Oh, yes, Rodney.
We had him on the Big Red Rage, and they were going into a Monday Night Football game. We had him the week before. Said, so at Delaware State, what would be a good crowd? And he said 400 people. I said, well, you're going to be playing in front of 70,000, and they're going to be watching globally on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, wow.
Trey, where was the most difficult place for you to play, even in college? Where is it?
I think for me, we played Iowa the last year, and that was they were ranked like 4th in the country at that time.
Okay.
So it just felt like the fans were right on top of you, and you can kind of hear that. The Swamp was obviously very loud.
Yeah.
It's just like the fans are right on top of you. It's so loud, and everything's going through your head at the time.
Well, here's Chris Barnes on if there is extra juice playing on Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football, that's something that we all dream of playing these games when we were little and seeing the games in college. This is what the moments are made of. But to be honest, we're focused on ourselves right now, making sure that we come out ready to come to battle on Monday. So that's what our main focus is right now.
It's amazing, too, because Chris Barnes finished out that game for Kaiser White. It's great to see Kaiser on the practice field today, by the way. That was really good news. But Chris Barnes was a childhood friend of Jordan Love. They played on Pop Warner teams together.
Yeah.
Come on.
High school. And then they were roommates with the Packers when Chris Barnes spent 3 years with the Packers. So that's pretty crazy. Here's Kyler Murray today on how he's approaching Monday Night Football.
Monday night, it's prime time. Everybody's watching. Just a couple more people are watching. To me, I'm just looking at it like another game. I don't really put too much emphasis on Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night. Obviously, it's you feel it, it's cool. But at the end of the day, man, if you don't go out there and play well, it didn't really matter.
When you watch games, I take it you watch games at home? Do you watch other NFL games?
Yeah, usually not on Sunday, but the other, primetime games I'll usually do.
How are you with the announcers? Because usually Monday Night Football, that's the premier assignment if you're an NFL. But are there times where you're yelling at the TV yourself oh, that makes no sense. You don't know football.
No, sometimes I listen to it, but most of the time I usually just have it on in the background or something. And I don't watch a lot of the games, mostly just on the iPad.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you haven't heard Tom Brady yet?
Oh, yeah. I've heard a couple of his games and highlights and stuff, but for the most part, no. I just kind of, focus on the game that we got that week and kind of look at that.
Brady.
Do you do much, Kyler every week does the production meeting with the announcers. Yeah. Have you done much of that in your career?
I have, once or twice. I actually did one this week with the Monday night people, but every once in a while. I did it not so much in the NFL. In college I did a lot, but not so much anymore.
Could you see yourself broadcasting when you're done, as a matter of fact. Could you see yourself as a broadcaster?
Yeah, I could. Maybe, that would be a lot of fun. Maybe broadcasting a game or something. That would be cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's a great option. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, it's great because it keeps you close to the game.
Yeah.
And you can still talk about the game, yet you have no responsibility.
Yeah, you don't have to get hit. You don't have to get hit. You can just talk about it.
That's
sit up there
exactly. You're not coaching it.
Yeah,
you're not playing. Yeah,
that's the best.
I recommend it.
And if you get a network gig like J.J. Watt, very well paid, some nice beer money on the side,
Yeah, you'll be all right.
That's pretty good. So, man.
Like J.J. needs it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness. Although Bruce Arians did not like it because there was actually more travel than there was as a head coach because you didn't have a home schedule. You were on the road every single week.
That's PA.
Which was hilarious. How about it, everyone? Trey McBride, Cardinals tight end. Special thanks, Jim Alejandro, Cody Fincher, Walt Ellis, Lawrence Ellis, Matt Lazarus, for Ron Wolfley, I'm Paul Calvisi. This has been the Big Red Rage starring Trey McBride, presented by Santan, Ford & Gilbert here at Trophy in Chandler.
Ciao.